We are honored today to be talking with Liz Chen a little bit more about her design thinking and qualitative research, practical applications for data collection, data analysis, and analytic products course.
I'm Liz Chen. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Health Behavior at UNC Gillings at UNC Chapel Hill. And my second role at the university is Design Thinking Lead for Innovate Carolina, which is UNC's Office for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Economic Development. And I love the blend of both my roles because I get to spend a lot of time deeply situated in public health work, especially in the qualitative research. And then the other half of my job, I get to work pan-campus. And so that means I get to work with faculty, staff, and students. But what binds both of my worlds together is this method called design thinking or human-centered design. I hope and am confident that more design thinking methods embedded within Qual would be able to lead to more community engagement and more trust in researchers in the research process, because it's baked in throughout the process that there's this constant exchange of ideas and iterating. So it's not only that Ray, Jeff, and Paul are providing information to me, we are then going to take that information and maybe visually display it or make it into something that we then try out with this other group. Like, we're going to show you how we've taken what you've given us and then used it into the next set of analyses and the next outputs, and then gone back. So I think that it's really important for engagement and trust building and advancing this field. And I also am hopeful that with some of these more creative tools like the conversation starters, that we'll be able to break the ice earlier and encourage people to tell us more information and open up more, so that the interventions that we do create or recommendations that we do make are just better and more aligned to what humans really want. We usually describe design thinking as a creative problem-solving approach. And so usually a design thinking process starts with a deep inspiration or empathy phase, where you're really getting to know the people, the challenge, the context, and even interrogating, is the question that we're working on the right question to be asking? And then after that, we go to what we traditionally see as a problem-solving phase, where it's a lot of ideation and coming up with wild, numerous ideas to test, and then making decisions about which ones actually move forward. And this is the space where a lot of researchers and people naturally like to converge very quickly. And I love design thinking because it's structured to really force us to sit in this divergent, convergent space, going back and forth and think about a lot of different ideas and put many of them into the real world for feedback before picking one. And then lastly is that implementation stage, where you are taking the idea that you've put forward and vetted and then implementing that in a community. And I think one of the reasons why I love design so much in design thinking is that it really forces us to consider desirability, feasibility, and viability upfront. And so we'll spotlight in the workshop a couple of the tools that I enjoy the most. And so one of them is journey mapping. The intention behind asking people to walk through or draw journeys is so that you can understand not just isolated moments or decisions, but the whole cascade of them that happen before and after. One of the greatest strengths of a journey map is also being able to represent and capture some of the intangible things. So I really like adding feelings to journey maps. And so especially when we're thinking about patients and how they're feeling at different points in time, I think it is a great benefit of that tool. And then at times we also fold in illustrative quotes into the journey. So when a patient or community member is at this moment, here are some of the things that they're thinking of or might say. So again, I do think in terms of lessening the distance and just being able to offer a structure to be able to think through the human experience and not just one aspect, but hopefully multiple aspects. There's a lot of flexibility in the tool. I'm most excited because the way that we've structured this workshop has been intentional about pulling out tools. So I don't expect that the next go round, somebody submits a proposal that they embed every single one of the tools that have been offered. I really am hoping that people gravitate towards trying one or two, and not only in their qualitative research, but just in their day-to-day lives. Like I find that once we expose students and faculty members to journey mapping, they are doing it in their qualitative research, but they've also started to think about the whole experience. Some of these tools can be applied to qualitative research and then just for everyday work and life.